So, hello and happy Wednesday. It's Wednesday and we are here on a very warm day. So, I wanted to let you know that no matter where you're at, you're being loved. I'm Natasha Venter and a psychic medium, intuitive personal awareness life coach. I also do intuitive feng shui class or work, I should say. So I love to help people work through their well, what do you want to call it? Their life's energy and their property. And as we're going forward and doing work towards being, the feng shui, sometimes I find entities or little piggybackers that like to be kind of in this story of setting up residence in our home. So I also do house clearings as I go too when I do feng shui. So with that I could do that remote. I could do that anytime in the moment. And I live here in the Washington State area, and so I so enjoy. Oops, I'm having problems with my cameras today, and I apologize. There we go. Maybe that's the movement I needed to do so that I could be here. Okay, so with that, nothing wants to stay today. You know what? It's one of those days where, you try to do something and something doesn't work, right? So I have this camera that I'm on Instagram with, and it's my phone. And of course, it doesn't want to stay put. It doesn't want to stay put. So if I'm a little crooked today, I apologize. So with that, let me try to reposition this here. Um, that as we're going forward, sorry, gonna make anybody dizzy who's on Instagram here. There we go. I hope that helps. There. Sorry if I made you dizzy there. Like I was saying, my camera's not working right. So today, in the midst of being warm and trying to do life as we go forward, whew, here we are. Tomorrow, Thursday, we're going to be in a new moon. And this new moon is here to help us be into a new life knowings, right? And it's one of those things that as we go forward and we're managing our life. Sorry on Instagram, but I cannot have you on live. I don't do that unless I have a guest that is scheduled. So with that as we're going forward and knowing where we're going, this new moon is a good opportunity. And actually, too, we got a planet that's coming out of retrograde. Jupiter is coming out of retrograde. And so there's a lot of time for us to do some self reflecting. And today is one of those conversations I wanted to have with you about that self reflecting, right? That as we're going forward and managing our life, that, if we don't self reflect, then uh, we don't necessarily get anywhere. That's the thing is that if we don't look at ourselves, how can we go anywhere? And what was interesting is on Monday I had a conversation about synchronicities, right? And those synchronicities were amazing because I had a conversation where a friend of mine was on, and he was talking about how he had some synchronicities, and we had a conversation later, and I was grateful that we did have a conversation afterwards. He's a fellow intuitive, and we all need some guidance and that kind of thing. So we kind of trade off, you know, this for that. But I went out, doing some errands on Tuesday, and it was funny because I had a synchronistic moment, and I was just, like, laughing because it was one of those moments where you knew that I could hear almost being guided. And that's the thing about me is that I do hear Archangel Michael, Mother Mary, and I do stay into those moments, right? Um, and when we're going on to doing life's dance, many times we get put into places, right? Well, what was funny is that I was driving north, and I there's a town, and then there's the town. And I was driving north, and I checked into the town beforehand, so I didn't have to retreat. And I said, is there something I need to do there? And I heard no. I said, oh, okay. You know, and so with that I drove on, and I went and I did one stop, and then I went into the grocery store. And this grocery store is where my kid works, and it's kind of like a super Target for those who aren't in this area. And it was funny because I was picking out a couple groceries. I wasn't doing a major shopping, but I was picking out groceries. And I turned the corner, and here's my kid just getting off of work, right? So if I would have decided to go do my errands in that other town, I wouldn't have hooked up with my kid. And I don't see him very often because his hours that he works is really early in the morning, and I'm a later person, so I don't necessarily cross paths with him in this work very often. Well, the synchronistic thing was is that we ended up. I told him, I'll take you home. So I said I have to do this errand and this errand, and then I'll go home. So I ended up, and as I'm talking, I'm hearing more synchronistic moments that I went and picked up something at another grocery store. And then I went to a bank. Well, there's this one bank that I go to, and there's this one person I so love. I've known her for a very long time, and I brighten her day. She brightens my day. And so she just came off of lunch as I was pulling through the drive-through. So there's what, two synchronistic moments? And then as I was driving south to take my kid home, I was driving over the bridge, and I went, "Ah, my cards! I forgot to pick up my cards." Well, third synchronistic moment, because I was able to take the right and get the cards. The funny thing is, though, when I was getting my cards, I got a message. Mother Mary needed to talk to this one person. So I was the interpreter doing my mediumship. I did my mediumship, and she says, I got goosebumps because I needed this message so much. I'm going through something, and I can't tell you here at work, but I I'm going through something, and this message what made my day. And that was so out of that moment. And I know I had other synchronistic moments during that time too, but these were like the domino effects of synchronicity. And when we're going through something, and this new moon, that's the thing about new moons and going through this energy. And Sue said on face or on YouTube. Thank you for watching me on YouTube, Sue. That she goes, new moon. That explains it, because sometimes the new moon creates these like stir up moments that we get to what's the word, stir up moments to wake us up, to get us going. And then, Sue, I want to add on too is that we have Jupiter coming out of retrograde, we got Neptune in retrograde, we have and Jupiter's coming out at the same time that's the new moon, so it's like a double whammy coming in. And then we have something else that's going on. There's some conjunctions and that kind of stuff. I was listening to my horoscope person this morning. And so with that going through where we're going through, that these new moons really stir us up. And it was a couple of years ago, I said, people always say full moons, that's when the hospitals fill up, that's when this happens, and that happens, right? Actually, I think that's new moons too. New moons can really stir us up and cause problems. So with that because of the fact that new moons give us an opportunity to bring new into our lives. Full moons are about letting go and releasing. Full moon or new moons are about bringing life in, right? So if we want to bring life in, we want to bring in the good. Well, some of that is not necessarily that we have to work on big things, right? And Sue, I'm also yeah. So Sue says, I'm also integrating from a massive healing shift. Yes, yes, because of the fact that there was some stuff going on Monday and Tuesday. I had a hard time getting motivated on Monday and Tuesday. And so it was one of those things that getting moving and getting motivated was hard to do, but yet I knew I needed to, because there's some things I'm having to do here tomorrow. And so tomorrow I have a big day. So I wanted to get things done before this big day tomorrow. And actually, it's big movement, big opportunity on a new moon. So can't help that synchronicity, right? Can't help that synchronicity. It was amazing that all this kind of came in. And when I was making my plans, I didn't know it was a new moon. But this new opportunity that I have to do on tomorrow, it's gonna be a great beginning for opportunity. And that's what I'm grateful for. So with that let's think about new in our lives. I know a lot of us struggle with self-love. Okay. And self-love is something that, we're really doubting our futures. We're really doubting our life. We're really doubting a lot of things around us, our governments, our scenarios. Uh, and it's one of those things that um, it's an interesting balance. But as things are going on in our outer world, we need to come home into our inner world. We need to come home into this knowing, this inner talk, this inner dance, because of the fact that if we don't do something with this new moon, this new opportunities, we're going to be in trouble because of the fact that people around us are going to be going down the rabbit hole, right? But if we're going the opposite way, what opportunities do we have doing that, right? What opportunities do we have if we do that? And we have self-doubt, we have these scenarios that are happening that it's really hard to structure. How do I get up in the morning and still find self-love? How do I get when things are happening around us? How can I get that self-love, right? So I'm going to be giving you some mantras today. And I'm sorry if they come out quickly. You can always rewatch this video because I post this video on Instagram too. And I will I need to start posting on LinkedIn and that kind of stuff a little bit more. And if you're on Twitter, I do not get comments on Twitter. So if you can go to my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter Angelic Clarifications, you can see other videos too. So with that going forward is an amazing process, but love yourself through the process. Okay? Love yourself through the process. Get a piece of paper if you want to write some stuff down, because I'm going to be saying some things, and I should have said that in the first part. That as we're getting going on our life and as we're managing our life, it's time to love ourselves. And this new moon is a great opportunity for that. And I don't care if you're white, purple, pink, green, black, white, short, tall, inside out, or outside in. It doesn't matter who or what you are. Self love matters. So here's a mantra for self love for you. Okay. And we're always going to start these with I am. I am. Because if we claim our wants, then we're going to want to go I am. Now, a lot of us say I am stupid, right? So you're claiming that. Can't clear delete that because I am very smart. Even though I'm dyslexic, I still have my smarts, right? So I am. I am is empowered. I am defining myself as lovable now. I am defining myself as lovable. Many of us think that we're not lovable because somebody told us that we weren't loved when we were little, or our spouses keep demeaning us and we don't feel loved. So here's an example. I am lovable. I am lovable because of the fact that I am worthy of being loved. And if I'm lovable, the suffix of able, right? That's about it's more cuddleable. It's more you can feel it, you can interact with it, right? So I'm lovable. I'm not love, I'm lovable. There's that interaction of it, right? Now, what does this mean that I'm lovable? what does that truly mean? Well, it means that we have to claim that I'm lovable. So write a sticky note on your window in the morning. So you see it first thing in the morning. I'm lovable, right? I'm lovable because I love myself. I can be loved by others. That opens the door to vulnerability, right? But if we believe that we are lovable, we can grow and be who we need to be, want to be. And many of us don't feel lovable. We know what love is. Well, some of us know what love is, right? But being lovable. So on this new moon, let's claim I'm lovable. And I'm saying I am for the you know that you are lovable, right? Because if you don't claim the I am, then how are you going to be lovable? And I can tell you that being lovable, being love, is the beginning of starting anything in your life. Because if you are love, if you're lovable, then things get more attracted to you, right? Because we're more, oh, what's the word? Interactive. We're more, I want to call it playful. We're more willing to be open to receive. So I am lovable. I am lovable. Here's another idea for a new moon that a lot of us struggle with is about self-worth. We don't feel self-worth. So that when we're going forward and managing our life, we do not value what we have around us. We don't value who we are. And that new moon is this opportunity. And that's what Jupiter makes us do, kind of go in, it helps us go inward to think. And we're also going into, uh, we're in Leo, which is about egos and being stronger and knowing ourselves and doing better, right? Well, when we're going forward and managing our life, if we feel like we're worthy of a financial balance, hmm, here's another one. I am worthy of financial abundance. I am worthy of financial abundance. That's a good one to write on a sticky note in the mirror. When you first thing you see, I am lovable. I am I am accepting and worthy of financial abundance. Ooh, that feels good. Hmm. So, with that, going forward, new moon, new concepts. How many of us don't feel worthy? How many of us really struggle with feeling worthy? Worthy of healthy bodies, worthy of negotiating our world, worthy of standing up for ourselves. So here's another one. I am worthy of being lovable. I am able and willing to be in the dance of lovably financially abundant. I love putting words together. And wouldn't that be great? Lovably financially abundant means I get to play, right? I get to honor because I'm worthy of it. I'm worthy of who I am and what I'm going forward with. I'm worthy of who and what's going to happen, right? So with that going forward in our dance, that no matter where we're at and what we're doing, the I am. Bring in you're worthy of. Now don't say something like I'm not going to be doing that anymore because I'm worthy of it. That's like trying to have a flat tire, right? I am. I am worthy. I am able. I am accomplished. Just like back here, I believe, right? Right there. I believe. I believe. I believe in who I am. I believe in the magic. I believe in the abundance of accepting that life is worthy of living to its fulfillment. I am worthy of living my life to its fullest fulfill, fulfillment, no matter what is going on around me, right? Bring in, you can bring in whatever you would like to. I know several people that are struggling with relationships and finding um, uh, love in their homes and struggling with relationships and things like that. I am calling in a loving feeling and knowing and okay, let me start all over. I am calling in my home to have love and light in it. Let there be the angels around my home helping me clear out the ick as life changes. I am. I am. New moon, new opportunities. I'm Natasha Venter, and I'm an intuitive medium who loves to bring light into this world. And when we can bring light into this world, light comes to us, right? Because it's as above, as below, as is in, as is out. And when we're bringing in love, that's one thing that I want everyone to know, that this new moon with Jupiter, that it's a story that we've created around many of our dealings in life is that we're unworthy of having anything that can be of greatness in our life. New moon, new opportunities. I am bringing in the creation of inspiration. I'm bringing in the creation of inspiration into my life so I can be who I'm called to be. I am worthy of having the inspiration to be who I'm called to be. Going forward in life, it takes the I am to stand up. And this new moon is asking us, take a look inside yourself and see where you are doubting or have looseness or has self restrictions or self where you sabotage yourself all the time, right? So how can you move forward? Well, you can call in. I am learning and able to walk forward into a worthiness in my life. I am. New moon, new opportunities. And I can't say that enough because of the fact that many of us don't know that there's new opportunities. Now, I'm going to tell you, with something new, with everything that comes in new, there's something that has to go out, right? There has to be something that goes out. So something needs to transform to light, just like day or nighttime has to transform into daytime. It's not like necessarily like the sun goes down or the darkness goes away and the sun comes out. There's that transformation, right? So how can we transform into this new knowing of us? By practice makes better, right? With practice making better, we can move forward. When life happens around us, and we all have stories of negative things that have happened to us, I have mine too. Just because I'm intuitive doesn't mean I get out of everything that's negative, right? Because of the fact that I have a life that I'm living. Just like I lost my father-in-law not too long ago. And then when we went to his memorial, I had to be, well, I didn't have to be, but he asked me to be a voice for him to the family members. And oh, that was a responsibility. Being a voice for my father-in-law to my mother-in-law. Now, everybody knows what I do except for my father-in-law. My father-in-law didn't know that I was intuitive or psychic, right? Or medium. And so when he went, "Ah, Natasha, this is kind of cool what you do here. I didn't know you did this." That's basically what he told me. He said, "Yep, this is me." So then guess who I was for that trip? But I knew I was worthy of carrying those messages. And I knew that I was worthy of accepting those moments of responsibility. So, with that, I want you to know that no matter what you're at, where you're at in your life, what you're doing, what your story has been to create new, what your story has been to create new. And when we create new, we have opportunities. When we let go, transform the old and into new. Now, practice makes better, right? So maybe we may start out with, "Huh, am I worthy? Am I worthy? Am I worthy?" And then you read the sticky note on your window or on your dashboard or on your mirror in the morning. And then you read it a couple times. Yeah, I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy that my life can be less complicated. Bringing in new, bringing in new opportunities. New moon, new opportunities. Jupiter is getting out of retrograde, asking us to take another look into what we've learned over the last couple months. A lot of us have gone through a lot of understandings, life lessons, life experiences, challenges, triggers, all these things that came up in the last little bit here. Yet at the same time, they were learning lessons, they were experiences. So, what did you learn out of those so that you can create new in your life? I know for me, I learned about communication in a little different way because I know Mercury in retrograde is about learning about communication, and it seems like Mercury's been in retrograde this whole freaking year. But usually, when we have something that's in retrograde at the beginning of the year, it's kind of the theme through the whole year. And this is the second year that Mercury was in retrograde coming into this year. So the year coming in from 2021 to 22, and now, or no, 21 to 22, and 19 and 20 into, or 20 into 21, 21 to 22, and 20 21, 20 to 21, and 20 to 21 to 22 year. Those both had Mercury in retrograde coming in. And when we have those Mercury in retrogrades, Mercury in retrograde is about communication. It's about technology. It's about standing in. It's about doing the work that we're doing to do better. And I know that for me, communication has been a big deal this year. Big deal this year for me. And I'm grateful because learning that discernment, when to talk, when not to talk, what to talk about. Should I say everything? Should I just blurt it? Or should I keep a little bit in and redefine what my intention is, right? So with Mercury in retrograde, it does that, but we're not in retrograde. We're going to be going back into retrograde here in, is it September or October? Somewhere in there. So it's going to be probably through October, September and October, because it goes in 3 times a year. So Jupiter wants us to talk about coming inward. What are we doing inward? What are we doing for ourselves to better ourselves? This new moon gives us, and the moon is one of the fastest turning planets because the fact that we have a new moon once a month and we have a full moon once a month, right? So it's a quick moving planet. So it gives us an opportunity to move through things, right? So we had a full moon moving into a new moon. Now we're going to have a new moon going into a full moon. So we had a new moon, a full moon coming into new moon, which gave us a new opportunities, right? Now, what are we going to do? Like for me, I'm going to be going into a situation in the next couple weeks here where I'm going to be working on a lot of self-reflection. Well, there's Jupiter, right? And there's other planets that are in retrograde right now that is asking us to do that. And then we're going to be going from a new moon to a full moon, which is going to be working us towards what do we want to what do we want to be done with? What do we want to end? Well, we have to transform something, just like flipping over a coin. You can't just flip a coin over, right? There's a movement from one side to another. So what are we going to move into? This is a great time to have mantras. I am worthy. I am lovable. I am in the moments of expanding my inner knowledge to do better in my life. I'm worthy of not always taking the shortcut to get to the long road. Because of the fact that I can tell you, I take shortcuts all the time, but I don't expect them. I don't work for them. I don't necessarily, uh, I don't necessarily take the opportunity. But just like the other day, I was telling you about my synchronicity with my son. Did I take a shortcut? No, but everything moved quickly and got me where I needed to go. And that was a gift, right? That was a gift. So Veronica, you like that one, huh? Thank you. I'm going by what the universe is calling out of me to talk about. So it's kind of jarbled sometimes, but yet at the same time, I'm hoping it's all intended because it is a big intention, right? And so with that, going forward, it's a process. So transform what you're looking at. And I know, Veronica, you're going through some inner work too, right? I'm not going to name it and claim it here on air, but that's where you can kind of start doing that mantras. I'm done with, and I am bringing in and more lovable moments of my body loving myself, right? Many of us have aches and pains in our bodies. Many of us have aches and pains in our bodies. We're all getting older. Even if we're young, we're getting older. A baby is getting older. I have a couple friends who had babies at the same time, and they're amazed at how now they're 4 months old, right? Because they're always getting older. So with that, I love you, body. I have a body, and I am willing to work with my body as it wants to change because of the fact that it's going to make things easier sometimes, because it's going to tell me if it likes it or not, right? So, you said, I get it. Yeah. And then Veronica says, yeah, I'm hurting still. I'm loving myself through it. Good for you, my dear. Good for you. Because the fact that loving yourself through our aches and pains brings us to the other side. And I can tell you, dealing with migraines, and I have in the past, see how I worded that? In the past, where my body goes into hyper spasms all through my neck and my shoulders, and so it's hard to move fingers. In the past, it's been hard to even pull up clothes or do anything, because as soon as I would move, I would have to have my arm kind of like at my side like this, but as soon as I would even move my fingers, spasms would go all through my shoulder blades, right? But one thing I knew that as I did that, I asked my body, I love my body. I love my body. I love my body. I know I hurt you. I'm sorry for triggering you. I am so sorry I triggered you. We have to heal because we want to move when we get older. So how can we negotiate this together? And many times when I walk to that other side of the pain, and went into it. There's another word about going in and going into that muscle that spasmed and watching it spasm from the inside out and giving it love. It it didn't spasm as strongly the next time. And I would ask my body too, do you need ice? Do you want heat? What do you want? Well, sadly, it says I want the cream that my girlfriend used to make, but she doesn't make it anymore. So I can't use that anymore. But I can tell you that I always tell my body when I'm going to go out and do yard work, and I tell it, okay, so today we're going to do this, and later I'll give you a sea salt bath, and I will appreciate you. Right? So doing those things and talking with our bodies can help. So there's something new. I am being enlightened in how to work with my body better. New mantra. I'm being enlightened in how to work with my body better. Good one, huh? Because as we're going forward in this new moon, new opportunities, new willingness to learn to do better, right? So, how can we do this better? Not perfect, but better if we don't try. If we don't try. So, writing down these mantras, and remember, you can watch this video over because I have mantras all through it. That you can watch this video again. And guess what? I'm on podcasts now. So my Monday show with Regan Forston and this show is on podcast. You can get me at any podcast, any platform, Life Clarifications with Natasha or Life Clarifications, and you can find me. I'm so excited. And I've posted old videos now and podcasts, and I'll be doing new ones here soon. The show will be on very soon. So going forward, probably by the next new moon, right? Lots of things to do. And, technology, at a new moon, I did this with technology and I told myself I was going to have a new understanding and a new networking with technology. And I said, I am in alignment with working with technology. I'm becoming more and more able to negotiate with technology. And guess what? I am so excited that I'm able to do the things I am now that I have become less restricted with my own self-beliefs about working with technology. Because the fact that if I have technology, I'm able to do my business a lot more, right? Because it's all about platforms, right? Podcast platforms, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. And I can tell you that on my YouTube channel, I have this one station or this one area that's called Let's Get Tiggered, Not Triggered. And so I do some kind of more vulnerable videos, and it's only on my YouTube channel. So if you're somewhere, please like and share. Like it, follow, and share, please. So with this, I have about 15 more minutes to do the show. I am going to pull some cards. I just want to say it's time for us to believe in ourselves. It's time for us to feel like we're worthy. And it's time for us to negotiate this world in a different enlightenment. Let's see. Who wants to come out? The dragons are like so communicative. So if you want a card, those on Instagram, what I do is I pull a card and you just say what kind of card you want, like dragons, or I'm going to pull out another one here. I'm going to do the map series. The maps want to come out. And the map is basically like a tarot deck, but I don't do tarots. But I will read what these cards represent. And then there's one more. You know what? The animals are speaking pretty loudly lately. So I'll do the animals. I'll do animal deck. Okay. So if you are looking for a card and you don't necessarily have to believe in anything, just all you have to do is put out an intention and the card will be pulled for you. Oh, I need a book. That's what I was reaching for. So the book. So the map series is with Claudette Baron Reed. The Dragon series is through Carolyn Mitchell. And then the animal cards is through Jamie Sams and David Carson. Okay, so with that if you would like a card, please put out there. Oh, Veronica, you would like the map series. Okay, so the map series. Okay, I'm going to clear the cards. Is there anybody else who would like one? You could just put it in the chat that you'd like and which one. Dragon, animal, or the map. Okay, this is a pretty big deck to shuffle. You know, I've had a hawk that came into our area last year when I went on a trip and I went through a big transformation. Went through a big transformation last year and Oregon's lair. Oregon's lair. Isn't that cool? Oregon's lair. So I will read this. So this is 19. So 1 plus 9 equals 10. So 10 comes down to a 1 number. So this is new moon tomorrow, new opportunities. And we're coming into that new moon. So it's really building up. It's like coming up into, like you almost have the balloon that's filled up. So 19. And 19, and I'm going to read both because it depends on where you're at, depends on if it wasn't turned, I forget if it was turned upside down, so I'll just read okay. So Oregon's lair, you are always protected and divinely directed, upright. You have a remarkable initial warming system that lets you know. Oh, let me start all over, Veronica. I apologize. You have a remarkable internal warning system that lets you know when things are out of alignment. You're about to enter dangerous territory, so tread carefully and be aware of your surroundings. The path you're on now is one that will challenge you to the core. That said, peril is always exciting and exhilarating. Like the danger you'll feel before you enter a new relationship, knowing that you will be changed forever. A life lived fully isn't lived only in safety. A new experience is calling to you, one that will test your courage. This choice is yours, but there is a greater value in risk taking than remaining unchallenged. New territories are awaiting to be discovered. So reversed. Okay, Veronica, I will read this one. Red flags shouldn't be ignored. Don't be secluded. Don't be seduced. Sorry about that. There again, dyslexic. Red flags shouldn't be ignored. Don't be seduced into learning lessons that will hurt your heart. Temptation and intrigue abound, but be careful because you can't win this particular challenge. Heed this gentle warning about wanting and longing and the fantasy of belonging to someone or something or indefinitely that has no true substance or longevity. Ignore this alarm and you'll wander in circles near the edge of the dragon's lair. Choose another path, for your treasures lay everywhere. or elsewhere. So that was kind of complicated. So with this, that you're going through a life altering experience, my dear, I'll simplify it for you. That be careful how you tread going forward, because your wants are something that sometimes bring in things, but yet at the same time, though, stay in the now. Heed warning systems. Heed, should I have the conversation right now with someone? No. Should I have a conversation with them later? Yes, but not right now. So heed warnings so that you can be accomplished, because sometimes when we are vulnerable, let's say in pain, we're vulnerable in life changes, vulnerable in grief, we're vulnerable in anger, we're vulnerable in a lot of things, that we don't always make the better choices, and we forget to heed the little flags that go, pay attention to me, pay attention, pay attention. And you have intuitive gifts, my dear. Follow them. Okay. So that's for Veronica. Is there anybody else who would like a card? Anybody else who would like a card? So I have the map series, the dragon, and animal deck. I'll wait just a second here, because I'm going to pull a card for everyone. Just one that, who wants to do one for everyone is the animals. So I'll start shuffling. And this is for everyone. This card is for everyone. And everyone could kind of take what I did for Veronica too. The animal for everyone. Let me clear. These cards have been sitting for a little bit. Let me clear them. Intention for a card pulled. For what is it that everybody would like to hear at this time? What would everybody like to hear at this time? There we go. That will clear it up. What is the animal that like to speak and give a message for the energies of what we're going through with this new moon and the new knowings coming forth? There we go. They're starting to get a little bit. You know what? This one right here is talking to me. There we go. Squirrel! I love squirrel. I love squirrel medicine. Squirrel medicine is amazing. Squirrel medicine is amazing. Squirrel. And it's 26. 2 plus 6 is 8. So that's infinity sign. So 26. Squirrel. Squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. Let me get to squirrel. 23, 24, 25, 26. Squirrel. Squirrel. Now there's a little bit of reading here, so I apologize. So stay with me, please. Squirrel. You have gathered nuts by the score. Exactly. Oh, squirrel. You have gathered nuts by the score. Exactly predicting if you'll need more. Teach me to take no more than I need, trusting great mystery to harvest the seed. Squirrel teaches you to plan ahead for the winter when the trees are bare and the nuts have long since disappeared. Squirrel medicine can come in many forms, as this furry creature is very diverse in nature. The erotic behavior of squirrel has bested many forlorn hunters, and it thus stands to reason that there are benefits for being able to circle a branch at lightning speed. This erotic behavior of squirrel can also get nerve-wracking if you are dealing with a person who has squirrel medicine. Trying to calm them down enough to accomplish something may drive you nuts. In other words, ADHD people. Gathering power of squirrel medicine is a great gift. It teaches you how to gather and store your energy for times of need. It teaches you to reverse something for your future use. Oh, reserve something for your future use. Whether it be judgment, opinions, savings account, candles, extra food. To put in a nutshell, squirrel is the Boy Scout in the animal kingdom, always prepared. If today's world of changing times and fortunes, it is wise person who prepares for the future. Our prophecies have all spoken about the end of the millennium and the change will come. Squirrel is a friendly medicine to have in light of possible future rainy days. Its message is to prepare, not to go nuts with it. Love yourself enough to gather the goods that will meet your needs in times of scarcity, even if times never come. If squirrel has scurried into your cards today, it may be take you to being told to honor your future by readying yourself for change. The message could be to lighten your load if you have gathered too many things that do not serve you. These things, in quotation marks, can include thoughts, worries, pressures, stress, gadgets that have been broken for years. And understanding the balance involved in gathering, you need to look at the idea of circulating the stock of what you have gathered. Call the nearest thrift store and give the gadgets to someone who can benefit from them. If something no longer grows corn in quotation marks for you, then it's time to let it go. Squirrel has another lesson which can aid you in if you observe what is obvious and which can prepare you for anything. It has safe place in its untroubled heart and mind, and that which is gathered to put in this place is wisdom and caring. The energy gathered will set your mind and your heart free, so that you will know that all will be taken care of in its own time. Apply this to your fears about the future, and they will vanish. So, in other words, gather, you know, and let go of what needs to be done. It cleans out its nest every spring, right, to gather more. And so what do you need to do? Get rid of the things that no longer serve you. I know for me that I let go of a statue the other day that has been in my home for years, and it needed to go to a new home. I don't know why, but it did. And she said it was perfect. So contrary, and I'm going to read the contrary, which is upside down, because there's somebody who at some point in time would like to hear, who needs to hear this. So this means that you're kind of having a little bit more troubles. It's kind of like going over a bunch of speed bumps in life. The contrary medicine of squirrel is the hoarder, a fearful person who expects the worst and is stuck in waiting. Waiting for something to happen is a trap. No action equals stagnation. If squirrel is hanging upside down on your branch, you may have begun seeing the world through opposites, hoarding your thoughts of abundance, so fear and scarcity take hold. You may ask yourself, have I denied my ability to produce enough space for abundance to enter my life? Have I denied my connection to Mother Earth, from whom everything flows? In moving too fast, have I taken the erotic nature of squirrel without having any focus? Am I leaking my energy on worry instead of gathering power through being prepared? Remember, one squirrel family gathered the energy of eagle and connected to Great Spirit. Now this is squirrel can fly. So in other words, that when squirrel connected with eagle, it made the flying squirrel, right? So be willing to jump, be willing to move, be willing to have fun. Like when you notice when squirrel is gathering nuts, If they meet up with somebody else and they have a nut in their mouth, they just kind of go doo, 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 and then they bounce on the squirrel on the leaves, right? And that kind of stuff. So they have fun as they're gathering. So remember, have fun as you gather. I do hope this helps. So squirrel medicine, have fun with squirrel. And remember, communication, flickering of the tail, right? Blessings to everyone. And remember that I'm here Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays is with Regan Forston on the Dance of the Soul. Same station, same place, except for on Instagram. I'm not on Instagram on Mondays. And then Wednesdays, I'm on Life Clarifications with Natasha, and I can be on Instagram if I have no guest, and my YouTube channel and Facebook. So welcome everyone. Please like, follow, and share if you need to, if you know somebody who can use this. Because remember, new moons, I am worthy, I am lovable, I am in alignment with receiving. Because squirrel wants us to receive. Remember, everything's about a transformation. So in other words, it's not about letting it go. It's about transforming it into a new thing, right? It's about that transformation. Things have to leave the house for things to come into the house. Things have to leave the mind in order for new thoughts to come in. So in other words, I am lovable instead of saying, nobody loves me. Nobody loves me. Transform that to I am lovable. Blessings, everyone. I'm Natasha Venter, AngelicClarifications.com.